Look at these. Have these up on eBay now. The Black Knight 2000 brand new playfields. It came in a deal of games we got, and happened to have 2 brand new playfields wrapped up, and they still have the 1989 processing year on them. Let's see, where is it? On this side? Yeah, there it is. June 30th, 1989 is when it was made. And SP personally inspected it, didn't he, Frank?
Well, I do have the pictures of you putting that stamp on there.
The company, I guess that we got it from, they were going to use them, but we never had to. But it's very nice. We also got an 8-ball deluxe playfield that we're keeping. But we started the bidding at $1 on eBay, and we have them in 2 separate auctions. I think the auction ends in 3 days. But it's up quite a bit. But actually, you're watching this to see a very rare game, and somebody is in my way.
You're in my way.
We'll go this way.
Good idea. Plan on living today.
Oh, you hear this? Lethal Weapon, it's coming. Playboy, oh boy. Oh boy, that's a mess. But, Tony, are you going to fix that?
Yep.
Is it going to be better than new?
Yep.
Better than new. Actually, the one we want to show you is a very little seen game. Even though they made 2,130 of these in, it was April of '88. This was designed by the 2 masters, 2 different guys, John Norris and John Trudeau. And they came up with this really great design. I think John Trudeau says it's sort of like a remake of Sinbad, and I can't quite understand where that comes in, but there's a lot of drop targets in this game. The playfield looks very basic, but this has a combination of some of the neatest sound you've ever heard, and coupled with incredibly rich graphics. Oh, you know what? At the end of this video, I made, back in 1989, an Understanding Pinball about a Robo Wars that'll tell you every secret of the game. After you see that video, you are going to want a Robo Wars. There's still a bunch of them out there. I don't know where they are now, but good news is brand new targets and decals from Pinball Resource. He still has these in stock. What we did is we cleaned the playfield. We had to do some repainting here. As a matter of fact, I think we have a video. I think we can go off now, and I'll show you working on this Robo Wars now. We're working on our last Robo Wars. Look at how these have yellowed. And look at this ball that was in it. Oh boy. This game was a pretty sad testament to Robo Wars. Somebody really loved it though, but we've repainted this whole bottom. This is all bare wood actually. It's all been redone. And this is coming along magnificently. And very soon you are going to see what a great game this is. What a terrific game. I bet Tony took this back part out. This is the backlight show in the back. Wow, is this terrific. And these are the super bright LEDs. This is going to look really nice. Yeah, it's quite a difference, isn't it? So you can see that this has been redone by our expert Steve, who's now reworking the Lethal Weapon. Another Lethal Weapon. Oh man, they're going out. Anyway, let me tell you some things we did to this before we play it. We've actually gone through and changed all the regular 44s to LEDs. And it's super bright. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. Purple up here for the extra ball lanes, and then we have yellow. We have white, red. We've clustered it. Now, to get more light on the field, yes. See, this one was never lit. So, Anthony drilled a hole here, and we have one of those adjustable LEDs below here, pointing up to light this plastic to give it just a little bit more light. This is the advertising. Isn't that sharp? The lights in the back move, and then the alien ships move. They're running on a single circuit board all by itself. It's not run off the computer. The same board that for a haunted house, for black holes, the animator board, the little board that runs all the lights around the edges. That's how they run them. And a relay turns on both circuits at the same time. What we did back here, the original plexiglass was smashed. We have a new clear one. We put brand new silver reflectors, and we have the super bright LEDs back there. So this game has this vibrance that's unbelievable. Now we'll put a credit or two. Oh, this, you're going to hear the soundtrack, is incredible. It is not stereo, but they have a woofer on the bottom and these two tweeters on the top. Now I want you to hear how good that sound is. Just put some credits on it. Oh, you know what? I love having the display up high. Gottlieb used to have them down here, and then for the last 2 years of this cabinet production, they moved them up here. So they did that so people across the room could see the scores. And it was a great idea. It's just a mess to open that backboard up. We'll do that at the end of this video. Isn't that sharp? What a great opening. Look at this, vibrantly flashing. Okay, your first shot's a skill shot. Now my understanding pinball goes through this in detail, so I'll just go over a few high points, and I'll put that link on at the end. You see that? When you go through and hit these, isn't that sharp? It moves him around and it flickers that. Now, he said alpha 3. You have to hit these 3 targets down first. Rather than 1 first, 2, and 3, you do a reverse. So 3 first. Now we're up to 2. And now we're 1. Now, when you complete the first bank, it lights 1 of your extra ball shots at the top, where we put the purple lights. So obviously when you go up here and you start rolling around, you have to drop in the last one. They are not connected to the lane change, so you can't move the extra ball. That's the hardest one to go through. But if you go through it, you do really well. Well, we're not going to do that just yet. See how nice you can move your lanes around? See now, did you see that? The lane change doesn't move it, but these other bumpers do, so they do move. See, now, watch. Our battle stations is lit. If we go up here, listen to that sound. Did you see how clear that was? What great sound. Now we're ready for part 2. All the playfield lights are off, just the computer controlled lights are on. And we shoot that ball up there. Okay, now you have to hit this target at the end. See it strobing, the 3 lights in a row? Just like on Gold Wings almost, they do see. And that brings you up to multi-ball. Now, in multi-ball, that little circuit board turns on, and it turns on all the alien ships and the back scanning. All that's run by a little circuit board on the bottom. And of course your music changes. Let's shoot the ball around for this. What a great soundtrack. Great. Unbelievably good. Our flippers are rebuilt with plungers and links, with brand new plungers and links from Steve Young. So the flippers are just as it was when the game was new. Notice our battle station's light is lit, so we can lock our ball down again, just like before. See? We can get as many multi-balls as we want. We get our shot. Let's get our extra ball shot here. How's that, a nice light show? Isn't that something? Now look, I want to show you the power surge. Activate power surge. When you roll through this lane, it turns this light on your spinner for a few seconds. And listen. Look at that. Did you see that? It flashes all the flashlights all over the playfield. Isn't that sharp? It brings you up top to here. Now you advance your times here by simply rolling up this lane here. And then that advances to your next level. Only when it's lit, of course. Notice it's moved. It's over here now. Now I'm up to 4 times, see? So this moves around. So you have to be able to hit it. Now we're up to 5 times. Really sharp. Our launch attack, once again under there, then she's in multi-ball. Now we're back to regular ball. I'm going to let this play down. This has, it must have been programmed to sound by the same guy that did TX Sector. It's another terrific Gottlieb game that's now being found again. The customer who's getting this has been waiting a long time for this game. Isn't that a great sound? Wow. Deep, rich bass. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. Oh, I didn't show you your beta targets. When you knock these down, the first time, they scan. Oh, I see I have a bulb ring. But look, if you, now my base is lit. Now if I get the light when it's lit, and I didn't do it, see? That spots a letter in Robo Wars, and you get that dynamic sound. I'm gonna get that one ball 3. Remember, you start with 3 first, 2 and 1. There's no memory on that. But I think it's time we get our game. Because I want to show you the back. Now I want you to listen to the end song. I mean, they did everything. Isn't that great? Okay, let's go into the back. Fortunately, other games, they didn't have this on a hinge. Thank goodness they put this on a hinge. And we lift this up. Hey, Steve, can you get me, real quick, on top of the Congo, is the old Robo Wars glass. I want to show people what the old one looked like. While he does that, I'm going to show you what
I'll get it by next week with my leg injury.
Do you know? Did you hear that? Should I give him a raise? Steven did. He's the one that blew his knee out playing softball because he's too old. He thinks he's 20 and he's 32 now. My goodness. All right. Let me show you up here. Thank goodness they moved the board down lower and they extended this so you can get the boards out easier. But this takes a very long interconnect cable. But see, Gottlieb is putting that ground wire in by then. See? They double up the ground wire. I think they started with, I'm trying to think of what game they started it with. But they learned their lesson. They added the ground wire, so now there's no ground problems. But remember, you do have to tighten the screws on these transistors, and you always have to burnish all the connectors. Now, they have a lot of flash lamps and they have and transistors, extra stuff. So these are the extra boards. You have to make sure if you take these out and reflow them that you don't foul them up. See, there's more wires in here because it uses all 3, and there's less wires it uses 2. So if you take these off at the same time, you got to make sure you put them back in right. So I would suggest you do them one by one. You tighten all the screws here and reflow solder. All that sound and the speech is all coming off of this board. Gottlieb later used a board up here for more speech, but there's tons of, all in these 2 ROMs, tons of programming. All right, your power supply, you have to tighten these screws, reflow solder top and bottom, and you have to blow the dissolve contact cleaner into that 5-volt regulator. This is the thing that gets hot. You can, cook eggs on there. You can make an omelet, but we're not going to do that here anyway. And your little satellite board, we took this out. We reflowed solder on the back of the board and on the logic board and behind. So this is now nice and sturdy, and it will last forever in this customer's house. It should never need adjustment again. And we have a quick connect battery. So down the road in 5 or 6 years when the battery goes dead, it'll be easy to change. Now let me show you that overlay. Okay, here we go. There. This is the one that was in the game. And this is the new one from Steve Engel. Pinball, or Mayfair Amusements. Got them from. There's the old one. See the colors? There's the new one. What a difference, huh? Yes, that's what happens. They fade over time. So there's the old one that will be pitching, so our customer is going to get a brand new one. Now, Stephen also, even though he's being very flippant, I'm going to show all the wonderful things he did do. See, that moves down very nice. Very nice. There's our advertising, as you heard earlier. Look at how nice the cabinet turned out. Stephen repainted the red, the yellow. You painted all 3 colors, right, Steve?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he did it all. For our customer, he is going to be thrilled because this game looked terrific. How many Robo Wars are left? How many? Oh my. There's not many, I guess. This is our 7th Robo Wars that's passed through. As a matter of fact, the video that you can click on, the Understanding Pinball, one of our first ones we sold was back in '89, I guess, when we did this video. That'll show you all the secrets. I just covered a few of them. Oh, wait a minute. I want to show you one thing. This is important. This may save you from a lot of troubleshooting when there's no trouble. Let me show you. Just like Bone Busters, inside, Gottlieb didn't have enough room on the boards to put all the electronics. There's the animator board that runs the yellow saucers and also the spaceships. But see this? This is a diode board to run extra diodes to run through there. And notice this part has nothing on it because there was room to put another connector and more diodes. There's only 2 diodes here. These plugs, they are marked, say A19J3, but I've seen people get these plugged in wrong. You have to be very careful you get these all in correctly. It won't hurt the game. I heard that! See, he doesn't think I listen. I have ears. I have selective hearing, young man.
You know.
Now, let's go back here. So if you plug this in here and this in here, there's a whole bunch of things that won't work right. Well, you'll be missing several. So just be careful when you take this board out to reheat it. You have to reheat this. See, these are our stickers. We have them on every board after we reflow solder. And the same is true with the 3 pop bumpers here. You have to take the pop bumper things off and reheat these connectors. See these here? You have to tighten these screws. Now these have already been updated with a mod. So these pop bumper boards will never fail again. And look, we did the ground mod down here too. All the grounds that connect here, just nothing but trouble, nothing but grief. You have to cut them off. You have to put a nice big wire to your red wire nut, wire tie them all in with one connector here. See these here? Can you see that, Frank? I don't know. Does that have a? I don't know if there's a light there. See, so we took the boards off, and there's 4 now. So we have 4 of these wire nuts. They're all twisted together. You don't solder them, you twist them together. And then you have 1 ground wire that goes here and goes to the same screw that held those wretched little Molex boards on. That eliminates a boatload of intermittent problems Gottlieb had. It was only on about 12 of these games that had those square Molex plugs on them, 4 of them. Wow, were they trouble. The long flat ones, starting with Arena, I think, are fine. Once they went to the long flat ones, usually you only have to 1 or 2 pins go bad in it. But those Molex plugs, oh, a nightmare of trouble over the years. But you can learn everything you need to know about this because I think that this video is going to convince several of you to buy one of these. Good. Anyway, I think we're done. We have more stuff coming. The Flintstones is almost done. Counterforce back there, that's almost done. There's a lot of stuff almost done, but not done. What were you going to say, Stephen?
Nothing.
He was giving me the eye.
I'm waiting for you to say Lethal Weapon's almost done.
Did I? I knew it wasn't almost done. But it better be done by tomorrow, or else.
Or else what? You'll just wait longer?
No, I'll have someone slap you.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Oh, right. Let me give you the video. Here's the link for Understanding Pinball Robo Wars. You can click on and watch it, and keep watching for other videos coming soon. Good night. Now get out!